All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Government says almost 91% decline in daily new COVID cases noticed in the country since the highest reported peak. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 96.9%. Union Home Ministry advises all states and UTs to carefully calibrate the process of relaxing lockdown restrictions. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan expresses concern over 11% COVID test positivity rate in the state. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Kalyan Anna Yojana extended for 5 more months from July to November. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says COVID has impacted the fight against poverty, hunger and disease across the world. Addresses G20 Foreign and Development Ministers meeting in Italy. International Cricket Council confirms T20 World Cup will be held in the United Arab Emirates and Oman from October the 17th to November the 14th. In Euro Soccer, England beat Germany. Ukraine edge out Sweden to clash with England in quarter-final. And in Wimbledon tennis, favourites Roger Federer, Andy Murray and Alexander Zverev advance. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also to help others to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 23978 046 and 1075. And now, the news. The Union Health Ministry has said that the country is registering a continuous decline in daily cases of COVID-19 and considerable increase in the recovery rate. Addressing media in New Delhi last evening, Joint Secretary in the Health Ministry, Love Agrawal, said almost 91% decline in daily new cases has been noticed since the highest reported peak in daily new cases.
पिछले 24 घंटे का डेटा लें तो पाते हैं कि मात्र 37,566 केसेस देश में रिपोर्ट हुए हैं। जो रिपोर्टेड पीक थी देश में उससे 91% केसेस में हमने डिक्लाइन नोट किया है और हमने पिछले एक हफ्ते में 17% डिक्रीज इन एवरेज डेली न्यू केसेस रिपोर्टेड देखा है।
Mr. Agrawal also informs that till 4th of May, there were 531 districts in the country which were reporting over 100 cases daily, and now the number has come down to 111 districts. He informed that till 10th of May, there were over 37 lakh active cases in the country, and after that, a continuous decline in such cases was noticed, and now it has come down to 5.52 lakh, showing a decline by 85%.
जहां 3 मई के समय पर देश में ओवरऑल रिकवरी परसेंटेज 81.8% थी, 20 जून को वह 96.3% थी और अब वह बढ़ते बढ़ते 96.9% हो चुकी है। एक्टिव केसेस में भी एक बहुत अच्छी प्रोग्रेस हम लोगों ने नोट की है। 10 मई को देश में 37 लाख से अधिक एक्टिव केसेस थे, वह अब घटकर 5.5 लाख के करीब एक्टिव केसेस रह गए हैं।
He said there are currently 565 districts in the country where the case positivity rate is less than 5%. Niti Aayog member Health, Dr. V.K. Paul, has informed that Moderna COVID vaccine has been granted permission for restricted use, commonly known as emergency use authorization in the country. Dr. Paul said that an application received from Moderna through its Indian subsidiary, Cipla, has been granted permission.
There must be other formalities that they have to follow, but a very important licensure has been now given. So now there are 4 vaccines with such licensure: Covaxin, Covishield, Sputnik and Moderna. So our vaccine basket is now richer by this addition. We have informed our efforts to invite and to have other internationally developed vaccines, specifically Pfizer and J&J, also continue. Those processes are on, and also we are looking forward to increased production and availability of our own vaccines.
Dr. Paul also said that efforts are on to invite other internationally developed vaccines, specifically Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson.
In the national capital Delhi, a total of 101 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the last 24 hours. The Delhi government said during the same period, 119 people recovered and 4 deaths were also reported. Presently, the total number of active cases of COVID-19 in the national capital is 1,531. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has said that India as a democracy has moved far ahead in terms of COVID-19 vaccination. Attending the inauguration of a 100-bed COVID hospital in Deoghar district in Odisha yesterday, the Union Minister said that there is a need to establish permanent health infrastructure in the state in view of the possible outbreaks of subsequent waves of COVID-19. More from our Bhubaneswar correspondent.
Addressing the event, the Union Minister Mr. Pradhan said that while about 5 crore 88 lakh people representing 4.3% of the total population of the country have been fully inoculated against COVID-19, in Odisha too, 4.5% of its population have been fully vaccinated so far. Said about 1 crore 18 lakh people in Odisha have already received their vaccine jabs, out of which about 21 lakh 72,000 beneficiaries have received both the doses of COVID-19 vaccine. Meanwhile, even as about 1,18,000 beneficiaries were vaccinated in 521 session sites yesterday, the state continues to witness a decline in viral growth, resulting in the gradual thinning out of its COVID-19 active caseload that now has plunged down to about 31,000. It is Chandradar, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Kerala witnessed a slight rise in the COVID graph as it confirmed 13,550 new positive cases yesterday. The present test positivity rate of the state is 11%. 104 deaths were also reported due to COVID, taking the death toll to 13,093. Meanwhile, 10,283 people recovered from COVID and the state has 99,174 active cases. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, while briefing the media, expressed concern regarding the TPR hike, hovering over 10%. He said that the COVID restrictions imposed will continue as such in areas where the TPR is continuously escalating. In Madhya Pradesh, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan has said that people will have to be very alert towards COVID, that they should be able to hear even the slightest sound of third wave in the state. The Chief Minister was reviewing the status of corona and vaccination work in the state. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
Madhya Pradesh is ranked 32nd in the country in terms of corona infection. Vaccination is going on at a fast pace. State ranks 4th in the country in terms of vaccination. More than 2 crore vaccine doses have been administered to persons above 18. Out of these, the first dose has been administered to 1 crore 80 lakh persons and more than 20 lakh persons have been given the second dose. State reported 38 new cases and 18 deaths, while 86 patients have recovered from infection. The positivity rate of the state is 0.05%. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Chhattisgarh, the State Assembly Speaker Dr. Charandas Mahant has requested all the MLAs to compulsorily take the COVID vaccine before the start of the monsoon session. A report.
In his letter to the MLAs, Chhattisgarh Vidhan Sabha Speaker Dr. Charan Das Mahant has said that like the previous sessions, all arrangements have been made to prevent corona infection in the assembly premises for the monsoon session. Dr. Mahant has said that in view of the possibility of third wave, along with compliance of the COVID guidelines, vaccination is also necessary. The Speaker has requested the MLAs who have received the first dose of the COVID vaccine to get the second dose, and the MLAs who have not yet taken the COVID vaccine to get the first dose before the monsoon session. The monsoon session of the State Assembly will commence from 26th July and will continue till 30th July. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
In Ladakh, Lieutenant Governor R.K. Mathur assigned topmost priority to provide functional household tap connections, FHTCs, to 44,082 households by 15th of August 2022. He chaired Ladakh Conclave on Youth Policy, Education and Jal Jeevan Mission on Tuesday. Ladakh is amongst 4 states committed to complete the mission by August next year. A report.
LG R.K. Mathur assigned top priority to completion of Jal Jeevan Mission in Leh and Kargil districts. In a high-level conclave, he reviewed the mission progress in which Jal Shakti Ministry Secretary Bharat Lal also participated virtually. Mr. Mathur said JJM is formulated with more flexibility with intentions to provide safe and standard drinking water to every household before India's 75th Independence Day. He said that states and local governments allowed to take appropriate decisions to complete the formalities without compromising on the quality. He tasked the district level executive authorities to monitor the progress at a micro level on daily basis. Jal Shakti Secretary Bharat Lal said in 2 years of announcement of the mission, number of tap connections grew from 17 to 40% in the country. He appealed the UT administration to utilize funds to connect all households with functional taps. UT Secretary Ajit Sahu made a presentation on Jal Jeevan Mission progress, concerns and roadmap. Ramesh Chandra, All India Radio News, Leh.
Health Minister Dr. Harsh Vardhan reviewed the preparedness for prevention and control of vector-borne diseases in Delhi yesterday. The main focus of the meeting was geared towards the elimination of malaria from Delhi by 2022. Dr. Harsh Vardhan emphasized the need to make malaria a notifiable disease so that each and every case could be tracked and treated. He said this issue was taken up with the Delhi government last year as well. Reminding everyone that Delhi is a Category 1 state for malaria elimination, Dr. Harsh Vardhan said Delhi had originally planned to eliminate malaria in 2020 and the deadline has now been shifted to 2022. The Cabinet Committee for Parliamentary Affairs, CCPA, has recommended that the upcoming monsoon session of Parliament be held from the 19th of July to the 13th of August. Our correspondent reports CCPA met last week to finalize the dates. The government is likely to bring in a number of bills in the upcoming session. There will be a total of 20 working days of Parliament during the span. A vaccination drive is in place in Parliament for the members, their families, parliamentary staff and media people.
Union Home Ministry has asked all states and UTs to ensure implementation of targeted and prompt actions for COVID-19 management. In a letter to Chief Secretaries of States and Administrators of UTs, Home Secretary Ajay Bhalla urged the states to issue directions to districts and all other authorities to take necessary measures as advised by Health Ministry in their letter yesterday for management of COVID-19. The Home Secretary said many states and UTs have started relaxing restrictions with decline in number of active cases. He said the process of relaxing restrictions must be carefully calibrated. The Home Ministry has asked states and UTs to closely monitor case positivity and bed occupancy on regular basis. It has asked them to regularly monitor districts with higher number of active cases per million population, as it is an important indicator to predict need for upgrading health infrastructure and logistics. The Home Ministry said there should be a continuous focus on the five-fold strategy for effective management of COVID-19: test, track, treat, along with vaccination and adherence to COVID-appropriate behavior. It's a well-known fact that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going, and the indomitable human spirit always rises above adverse times. One such spirited corona warrior is Arvind Deshmukh. This caretaker cum counsellor is rendering selfless service to many corona patients in Maharashtra. Coordinator of GM Foundation, Mr. Deshmukh, has started working round the clock during the high phase of the pandemic. In the COVID Care Centre, where Mr. Deshmukh has been rendering his service, patients were cured and went home with complete physical and mental recovery. No COVID death has been reported in the centre till date.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government says almost 91% decline in daily new COVID cases noticed in the country since the highest reported peak. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 96.9%. Union Home Ministry advises all states and UTs to carefully calibrate the process of relaxing lockdown restrictions. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan expresses concern over 11% COVID test positivity rate in the state. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Kalyan Ann Yojana extended for 5 more months from July to November. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says COVID has impacted the fight against poverty, hunger and disease across the world. Addresses G20 Foreign and Development Ministers meeting in Italy. International Cricket Council confirms T20 World Cup will be held in the United Arab Emirates and Oman from October 17th to November 14th. In Euro Soccer, England beat Germany, Ukraine edge out Sweden to clash with England in the quarter-finals. And in Wimbledon tennis, favourites Roger Federer, Andy Murray and Alexander Zverev advance. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 Counselling Helpline number is 14443 and MyGov WhatsApp Help Desk number is 9013151515.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will interact with beneficiaries of Digital India tomorrow via video conferencing. The program is being organized by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology on the occasion of Digital India completing 6 years since its launch by the Prime Minister on 1st of July 2015. Digital India has been one of the biggest success stories of New India. It has enabled services, brought government closer to citizens, promoted citizen engagement and empowered people. The Union Government has now extended the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Kalyan Anna Yojana for 5 months, that is from July to November this year. Further allocation of 198.78 lakh metric tons food grains have been made under PMGKAY 4 for July to November. Lifting of food grains has been started by 8 states, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Kerala, Odisha, Telangana and Tripura. Over 1.06 lakh metric ton food grains have been lifted till yesterday. Under PMGKAY 3, Food Corporation of India has supplied 77.42 lakh metric tons free food grains to all 36 states and UTs so far. 23 states and UTs have lifted full allocation for May-June 2021. Last date of lifting is 30th of June.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Information and Technology has summoned Facebook India and Google India to appear before it yesterday. The committee will hear the views of the companies about safeguarding the rights of the citizens and prevention of misuse of social or online news media platforms, including special emphasis on women's security in the digital space. The centre has handed over the investigation of the drone strike at the Air Force Station Jammu to the National Investigation Agency NIA. An NIA team led by Rakesh Balwal was among the first at the scene of the twin blasts in the high security technical area of the Jammu airport in the wee hours of Sunday. Low-flying drones were used to airdrop improvised explosive devices inside the airbase. 2 Indian Air Force personnel sustained minor injuries in the explosions. However, the blasts did not cause any damage to equipment or aircraft.
Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said the Narendra Modi government is committed to the deregulation of the economy and ushering in systemic reforms. She said what India needs is transformational, not incremental changes. In an article in an English daily, Ms. Sitharaman said the economy welcomed the breath of fresh air with the liberalization of 1991. She recalled the political will of the then Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao and the then Finance Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh for liberalizing the economy 30 years ago. The Finance Minister wrote, during his first term, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ensured the weeding out of 1,200 archaic laws and discarded 58 more in the second term. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar shared views on contemporary challenges at the G20 Foreign and Development Ministers meeting in Matera, Italy yesterday. He said COVID has impacted the fight against poverty, hunger and disease across the world. It has pushed back the global development agenda, increasing vulnerability in many societies. Dr. Jaishankar said India is today at the forefront of the response, giving food support to 800 million citizens. He said livelihood, health, digital access and climate action should now constitute the new developmental priorities. The External Affairs Minister appreciated Italy for highlighting food security. He said the Matera Declaration reflects the Indian concern for the welfare of small and medium farmers, promoting local food cultures and recognizing agri-diversity. Dr. Jaishankar interacted with 12 foreign ministers on the sidelines of the meeting. During his meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, he discussed the Indo-Pacific and the Afghan situation. The External Affairs Minister had a productive meeting with his French counterpart, Jean-Yves Le Drian.
India has raised at the UN the issue of drones being used for terror activities. It came days after explosions at the Air Force Station in Jammu with the help of low-flying drones. New Delhi said being a low-cost option and easily available, utilization of these aerial and subsurface platforms by terrorist groups for sinister purposes such as intelligence collection, explosives delivery and targeted attacks has become an imminent danger for security agencies worldwide. This was stated by Special Secretary in the Home Ministry V.S.K. Kaumudi while addressing the second UN high-level conference of the head of counter-terrorism agencies of the member states. Pune and Bengaluru have retained their first and second positions in the latest rankings of top cities in India, where All India Radio live streams on News on AIR app are most popular. Chennai has displaced Hyderabad to take the third spot, and Hyderabad has slid to fourth position. Bhopal is the newcomer in the top 10 list at 8th position, while Lucknow is out of the list. Vivid Bharati National ranks tops in the ranking of AIR streams in India, followed by News 24/7 and AIR Malayalam. In major changes in ranking of top AIR streams in India, AIR Pune has moved 3 positions up from rank 7 to rank 4. In quite a significant fall, FM Rainbow Delhi has slipped from 5th to 9th position. FM Rainbow Kochi is the new entrant, while FM Rainbow Mumbai is no more in the top 10. More than 240 radio services of All India Radio are live streamed on News on AIR app, which is Prasar Bharati's official app.
Renowned newsreader of All India Radio, Upendra Kumar Pahar Singh, passed away yesterday. He was 84. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has expressed grief over his demise. The minister said he had brought novelty in news reading. Condoling his death, Union Minister Pratap Chandra Sarangi has said that he had served the people of Odisha through All India Radio for a long period of time. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the last few days have witnessed stupendous performances by Indian archers at the World Cup. He congratulated Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhagat, Komalika Bari, Atanu Das and Abhishek Verma for their success, which will inspire upcoming talent in this field. With 24 days to go for Tokyo Olympic Games, today we take a look at the profile of Avinash Sable, who will be part of India's athletics contingent in men's 3,000-meter steeplechase.
Born in a family of farmers on September 13, 1997 at Mandwa in Beed district in Maharashtra, right from the tender age of 6, Avinash would run or walk the 6-kilometer distance between home and school as there was no transport facility in his village. He took part in inter-army cross-country running in 2015 at the insistence of his colleagues before switching to steeplechase. The 26-year-old Avinash shot into the fame when he bettered his personal best and rewrote the national record yet again in men's 3,000-meter steeplechase to win the gold medal at the 24th National Federation Cup Senior Athletics Championships in Patiala earlier this year. Avinash is ranked world number 16 at present. He won silver in his debut international event at the 2019 Asian Athletics Championships in Doha. In 2019, he became the first Indian to qualify for the 3,000 meters steeplechase final at the World Championships. AIR News Sports Desk.
In the National Interstate Athletics Championship in Patiala, 2018 Asian Games bronze medalist discus thrower Seema Punia booked her ticket for the Tokyo Games with a gold medal winning throw of 63.72 meters on the concluding day. The 37-year-old Seema bettered the Olympic qualification mark of 63.5 meters. Meanwhile, Aditi Ashok qualified for her second Olympic Games after the final Olympic rankings were released yesterday. In gymnastics, the Asian Championships bronze medalist in vault, Pranati Naik, earned a quota for Tokyo Olympics. In cricket, a day after the BCCI said it will not be able to host the T20 World Cup, International Cricket Council issued a statement confirming that the multi-nation tournament will be held in the United Arab Emirates and Oman from October 17th to November 14th. However, BCCI retains the hosting rights of the 16-team event. In other sports news, in Euro soccer, England struck twice late on to end a 55-year wait for a knockout tie victory over Germany amid scenes of a huge tension and elation at Wembley to reach the quarter-finals. At Wimbledon, 8-time winner Roger Federer survived a huge scare when French opponent Adrian Manarino was forced to retire injured at the start of the fifth set of their first-round tie. Number 4 seed Alexander Zverev of Germany began his quest with an easy 6-3, 6-4, 6-1 win over Dutch qualifier Tallon Griekspoor.
And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. In the national capital Delhi may witness the heat wave. Mumbai will have a generally cloudy sky with light rain. Chennai will see partly cloudy sky. Kolkata will have partly cloudy sky with the possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar will also see mainly clear sky, may become partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Leh will have mainly clear sky. Gilgit will have also a mainly clear sky. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. India opens doors for import of Moderna, its fourth vaccine, headlines the Tribune. 90% effective Moderna vaccine gets DCGI nod, writes the Asian Age. New cases below 40,000 after 102 days, reports the Statesman. Ensure that no migrant worker goes hungry, SC instructs government, headlines the Hindu. LET JEM cells under lens for Jammu drone attacks, reports the Pioneer. Government asks NIA to probe drone hit. Lashkar may be behind it, writes the Asian Age. At UN, India flags threat of weaponized drones, writes the Tribune. Parliament's monsoon session on course as most MPs vaccinated, reports the Hindustan Times. And finally, heat wave grips Delhi as mercury touches the 43 degrees Celsius mark, the highest this year, writes the Times of India.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government says almost 91% decline in daily new COVID cases noticed in the country since the highest reported peak. National COVID recovery rate further improves to 96.9%. Union Home Ministry advises all states and UTs to carefully calibrate the process of relaxing lockdown restrictions. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan expresses concern over 11% COVID test positivity rate in the state. Pradhan Mantri Gramin Kalyan Anna Yojana extended for 5 more months from July to November. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar says COVID has impacted the fight against poverty, hunger and disease across the world. Addresses G20 Foreign and Development Ministers meeting in Italy. International Cricket Council confirms T20 World Cup will be held in the United Arab Emirates and Oman from October the 17th to November the 14th. In Euro soccer, England beat Germany. Ukraine edges out Sweden to clash with England in quarter-final. And in Wimbledon tennis, favourites Roger Federer, Andy Murray and Alexander Zverev advance. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.